Yeet.
Hello, folks, and we are back. This is The Vice. Welcome, and we are super glad to have all of you here joining us in on our campaign as we continue onward toward the end of this 3-year jaunt through my sort of insane, far too deep lore homebrewed world. But if you're ready for a story, we're here to give you one. And I am joined, as always, by an amazing cast and crew of people who, do not add any shenanigans to my world at all. Speaking of shenanigans, dragons are cats.
No, don't know what you're talking about. No shenanigans. Hi, I'm Dragons Are Crazy, and I am coming to you all the way from wet and soggy Australia. Yes, that is it. That is right. And I'm playing Vidar Lycran, the man on a mission with just so many swords. He doesn't know what to do with them, so he's just going to start a juggling act.
And next up, Templar Warden.
Hello, I am playing Hidden by Axel. I am Templar Warden. I am playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi wizard, excitable, energetic, curious, who also has now had Plant Son, who's now also more human planty son. Who knows? He's just had the sun upgrade. That's how it works.
In my world, pretty much. Headcanon. Upgrade your son. Next up, we have Bird vs. Plane.
Hi, folks. I'm Bird vs. Plane, and I'm feeling jaunty. It's the first time I've heard this campaign described as a jaunt, Jay. But hey. I'm playing Iskatal, the half-elf bard turned gunslinger, who has got some things on her mind after last episode, but we'll address that soon.
Next up, we have our guest player. Welcome to The Vice, Not So Speedruns.
Hey, it's me. It's your boy, Speedy, coming in, playing Idolo, the changeling barbarian monk who is just a very, very fast boy. Very large, generally appearing in the form of a Goliath, who has come with what seems to be some sort of message from the Dragonleaf trees, perhaps, or the language of storms. Lots of things, with the news of the fate of Axel, and now freed of some of his bindings. Is curious to see what happens next.
Next up, we have NNG9.
Hey, I'm NNG9. I play Lunar, Water Genasi monk, who's honestly hasn't been punching all that much. It's weird. Other people have done that. Possibly other people who are hypocrites. Look, hold on. I'm also your resident puncher.
We broke Alicia. Actually, Alicia broke herself.
Yeah, you're going to need that aura of protection, buddy.
Yep.
And next up, Good Guy Pie.
Yeah. While Alicia gathers herself, Good Guy Pie, Luck Goldheart, who totally didn't kill and punch a man. 2 men, actually. But the other one he resurrected, so with that nat 100 on a D100.
Uncalled for.
Facts are facts.
Hi, I'm Good Guy Pie. I'll be playing Luck Goldheart, adventure extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation Pit, and the fuck?
Lawful good has never been so hard as in this group. Oh my gosh! Wait, what is this?
All the subscriptions. Woo!
Apparently, we have a hype train. Hype train! Hype train!
Hype!
And wow, okay, so you get exclusive emotes. Okay, things are happening. Look at that. Thanks, people, for making things happen on my station. Good thing I'm such a pro streamer.
Twitch, and they scare and frighten me.
They
also confuse me.
Yes, I am confused and frightened, but thankful for the hype train. Toot toot. I guess. Anyway, anything else from you, Alicia, since you broke there for a moment?
No, that was it. That's what I play. That's what I do. Alpha Pods.
I am Tall Squall. I am your host, your DM, your cat wrangler of this wonderful jaunty group, and welcome you to the Vice. This is a 3-year campaign. For those of you who see me on Twitter or tuned in early, this is our 123rd session in this crazy, wild world. Things have happened a lot. We're going to give a recap in a little bit, but to tell you a little bit more about the station, we do run it 100% for charity. Over the last 3 years, we've raised coming up on $18,000 for different charities, and through April, we are supporting Game to Grow. And to tell you a little bit more, that is our friend and buddy Bird vs. Plane. Sure, $18 inspirations for all from Hawkeye.
Nice, thank you. Game to Grow is this program where they use role-playing games such as D&D and other similar things to help kids who are either on the autism spectrum or who have other further difficulties socializing, and they use gaming as a means of building a social network, allowing them to play characters and experience emotions and thoughts and feelings in a safer space that allows them to kind of get a handle on their feelings, as well as building a social network for them. It's a really cool program. Check out their website for more information. They're great people doing good things.
Awesome. And just to let you all know, for those of you who are hanging out with us, I do have currently the Flex emote. However, there's 3 more on the way, along with 3 more for Bird vs. Plays channel, which you might be seeing me on some in the coming weeks, as some of that is going to be the new hypest place on the internet to go and hang out and play fun games. So be sure to subscribe over there as well, and check out his channel in the coming weeks. Unless there's any announcements or things folks want to chat about, we can go ahead and roll the old introduction and get ourselves started. Cool. We'll be back in a flash. Hey folks, we are back. Thank you for all of that hype and hype train, and we're now to level 2 hype train. So is that like a monorail? Or no, a tri-rail? Or a... I don't know.
Monorail.
Monorail.
Oh my gosh, so much hype!
Or fewer
Thank you,
rails?
So much hype.
Hype train, it's a hype train. Da, 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 da. Okay, so anyway. Hooray! I earned a hype train emote. Okay, I think I did the thing. I pressed the button. Thank you. Hooray!
Hey Jay, at
Yes.
some point we gotta let the hype train go. And,
Yeah, we actually get started with the campaign. What you're not seeing is the fact that we've got non-stop bits just falling from the sky on the channel. It's like I've got so many bit alerts. It's just over and over. A lot of it is Hawkeye with a bag of bits, but dude, thank you so much. Bits go towards Games to Grow as well. They get put in 10,000 bit increments just to make life easier. But they absolutely go right in there. So thank you for your bits as well. That's awesome. So we're going to dive back into the Vice. I'm going to start concentrating back on the game and things. So the party currently is at the Conclave, something that has been a part of their adventure and their world since pretty much day one of this campaign. One of the very first plot hooks that landed in their laps 3 years ago was an invitation in order to go and perform at the Conclave and to, in fact, get there. Over the course of the 3 years, many things have happened, much intrigue, different factions, but they are still back at the Conclave, as it is a gathering that happens once every 7 years, sort of our world's fair, in fact, that coincides with alignment in the stars, where the three sisters, these 3 stars, line up into a perfect line, which are meant to represent the fates themselves. The party, upon arriving here, after a long and strange journey, a jaunt, if you will, arrived at the Conclave on the very night of the Night Melee, one of the big events here, where they faced down Ryan Talia, which are party member Vidar, his sentient sword's sister and nemesis, was being wielded by a dragonborn paladin. They faced off against her at the same time as they uncovered a plot by the Arcana Mystica, using forbidden magics in a world without flight to basically perform a smash and grab, so to speak, of a third in the set of sentient swords, Vorn Malak, to do something, which they're not quite sure. However, these daggers, these blades of Vorn Malak, the Earthen Cast, have seemed to come a huge part of perhaps what they are doing, as these blades made from a deity that was once representative of the Earth seem to have special power, or hold the potential for special power against these dragons that have stolen the sky. We find the party currently, most of them in the laboratory of an old friend, a clockwork artisan who has traveled from the future with a dire warning that Axel's son, Riley, was a part of the nefarious plans of the Arcana Mystica, that the soul given to his son by the life rune was immortal in nature, and that the Archmistress intends to shatter it and embed it into her own clockwork creations that are a aberration, an amalgamation, a monstrosity of some of the strongest foes that the party has faced up against. He was there to help thwart that by binding Riley, who is made of the life rune, with Sithrax, who is the embodiment of the death rune, into something new. This new life form, in fact. A rune-forged construct, living, sentient, and with a soul. A true soul. And they have just completed the ritual for that to occur. Luna is not actually with the party at this moment, as they were in a lab of electricity, and being a water genasi, not her favorite spot. And that is where we are going to start. We are going to start with Luna. You leave the lab prior to this ritual beginning and find yourself back out on the Midway. Is there somewhere in particular that you are headed, or just outside?
At this point, I'd probably try and catch back up with Lily, since she's probably still just selling ropes.
Okay.
It's the last thing we were doing.
So, as you step back out on the Midway, do me a favor, and your choice, you can roll it either insight or perception.
Insight it is. Okay, yeah, all right.
On a 10, there is a lot of confusion that is occurring still out here, but it is not difficult to be able to ascertain what is occurring. In a strange sort of alignment, both the Arcana Mystica, which is now on scene, and the Genasi from Mim's Caravan seem to be spinning this narrative that all of the trouble this evening is to be blamed on this Netherwing that is attacked, and wild magic that was unleashed by it. And as you just sort of walk through this Midway and hear people talking, even just the bystanders, there seems to be this evolving narrative that, you know, this was some type of retaliation by this Netherwing for the fact that it was this celebration of the heroes of East. And with your courtesan training, you're able to sort of see just the little pushes that people are throwing into the story to keep that building, to get away from the idea of the fact of the Twilight Bazaar, which is this pocket dimension held by Mim's Caravan, and also by the Arcana Mystica, that they might have had anything to do with what is going on. You can roll me a perception check as you are passing through this crowd.
I'm gangbusters on rolls today.
Yeah, on a natural 1, you can see there's a crowd gathered around where the now your ice sort of chamber around the around the High Enchantress's body has melted away or has been magically removed, and you can see that there's a group of people gathered around it, but you cannot discern anything more than just that over in that area where you left it, there now are quite a few people who are gathered around.
Well, we can fix that. We're gonna go, so she's gonna go deal with that first, even if it's just as simple as like I don't know, forming ice gloves and picking the body up. Like, we're gonna move this.
Well, as you're going towards them, you do see that it is a group of people from the Arcana Mystica. This is not bystanders. This is...
Oh, I'm super going over then.
Okay.
That does nothing.
Yeah, no, as you approach, you sort of start to get, basically sort of walled out by these members of the Arcana Mystica. You can recognize some folks who are seem to be guards, other that are in robes of magic users, all wearing the colors of the Arcana Mystica.
What'd she do?
You can roll another perception check at this point now that you've gotten close to it if you'd like.
Let's see if I roll higher than a 1. Yeah, it's higher.
On an 11, as you get closer, you can see there's some discussion amongst the bodies, amongst these wizards. The biggest thing, even on an 11, that you notice, just because it is so, or was, such an outstanding feature, something in fact Celia even remembered all through the campaign. That necklace that she was wearing, that jeweled necklace that for a long time Celia thought was stars underneath of a robe, is missing.
You know what? I guess that's a good place to start. Where is the necklace? Just to that group.
They turn around and look at you sharply. What do you know of that?
I asked you a question as you are surrounding the body. Where is it?
And who are you exactly? That we would be providing you any information?
The person who knows what actually happened here.
He smiles.
And she's dead serious, like, push me, I dare you.
He looks straight into your eyes. You see, on your 11, I'm going to say that you miss it.
I know, it's... my face are so bad.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I will luck die this if necessary.
Okay.
Just going by how my rolls have been. Yeah. So we'll go. So I'm going to go ahead and use a luck die, and I might use an inspiration before you tell me the result.
Well, you want to call it before you? Oh no, an inspiration.
Nope,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were saying advantage. Sorry.
No. Although apparently I should have been doing advantage. And D12, right?
Yep.
Yes! Thank you, chat.
You feel a pressure on your mind, and you feel a story about a Netherwing attacking, try to take hold in your memory and just place the real memory in your mind. You are aware that your memory has been attempted to be modified. I guess the question is, do you let them know that it hasn't, or do you continue down this path?
I think quickly with a tap on the mind, she's going to go to the others. She's going to just message the others like, the necklace is missing from the not Archmistress?
High Enchantress.
High Enchantress's necklace, and I'm attempting to find out why. And the Arcana Mystica has attempted to change my memory. They may do it again, but I will pursue. So she's just going to go closer to him, and she's going to, for Goofs, Wanda smiles, plaster a really fake-looking smile on. Where's the necklace?
He smiles back at you and nods to the others around them. We'll need to take her in for questioning.
All right, so as soon as I hear that... No. I was going to say Staff of Frozen Shards, but she's going to... I got mad ups, so I'm about to mad ups away.
We getting into this? We gonna scrap?
No, she's attempting to leave.
She's walking away.
Yeah, so it's just basically she's going to jump into her ice lighting because So she's gonna, like, I don't know, I guess do like a short trip back and then jump, kind of do an up and away, but frozen.
Okay.
That's what she's attempting.
So basically, you're gonna spin some key and do a step of the wind.
That's what she's attempting to do. She's not attempting to attack them because, yes, with all these people here, Genasi attacking the Economist, because that'll go over super well with them modifying memories.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking, yeah, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I, again, reserve the right to use whatever dice I have, because the dice hate me today. Why? Why do you hate me? I have another inspiration on these.
Okay.
Why do they hate me? What do you want?
Look at you. Okay. On a DC.
These are my good stats, people. My good stats are doing this to me.
On a DC of 20 with your 21, they start to give chase, but you hear a voice back from around the body snap like a whip, and the people who are going after you immediately come back, and you can see them in a rapid succession of dimensional doors take the body and themselves out of the situation.
Okay, cool. So again, just quickly relay that happened to the group, and it's like, all right, back to finding Lily, because that went great. All right.
So you know where you left Lily. So as you head back towards that area where basically it was a large crossroads, there were some wider than most of the ones here, as this is sort of no real roads were laid out here. It just happens to be sort of a main crossroads that you all found yourself at, almost not exactly at the end of the midway, but within feet of the end of the midway. So far enough away that sort of wasn't involved in all that went on, but close enough that you weren't miles away. And you can see, strangely, there is a whole queue of people lined up where Lily has positioned herself sort of behind these barrels. She has set her corn husk doll baby up on top of one of the barrels. There is a sack sort of right behind it, as though baby sort of holding the sack. And as you watch, you see her still handing out red robes, and you see the sparkle of gold coins. Without her any prompting at all, people still dropping coins into this sack. I'm going to let you roll a perception check at advantage.
Okay, thank you.
Because this is right up your alley. So on a 14.
Sure. Okay. See, they heard you. They heard advantage. It's just like, fine, we'll give you slightly better roll.
This is right up your alley, though. This is a low DC for you, because while you and Iska, with a lot of showmanship and clever sort of draping to make people think that you were selling custom robes for them, the people who are walking away and putting on these robes that Lily is handing out actually do look custom made for them. They are as though they were, as a tailor yourself, as though these had been truly cut to their size, to their specification. The other thing, just as you're walking up, you see at least 3 to 5 people putting on their new robes. And you know when you left, there was probably 3 robes left of the half dozen, 9-ish that you and Iska had and were selling at very elevated prices for something that was supposed to be free.
Look, there was showmanship. You pay for the show.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
Continue.
There was 3 left, and you easily see 5 here, and you see her still handing out robes.
All right, I'll sort of, I guess if there's she'll sort of like do a hop over to get over the barrels and talk to Lily. Is everything all right?
Yep. You see her grab that pile, 3 robes. You see her take a robe, hand it out to the next person. You see them drop what looks like a platinum piece into this bag and walk away, and there's still 3 robes on the stack. Do me an insight check.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're a wizard, Lily. Wow.
I'm giving you a 20. I'm going to give you the advantage on this one because
Thank you.
you're right there, and this would be something that you would definitely notice. You've just come from confusion, shock. There was a huge explosion overhead. In this area around Lily, people are calm. They're friendly. Some of these nobles, these sort of mid-level nobles who are pretty snotty and awful people, are being helpful and nice to each other. And on your 24, you even feel a sense of sort of centering come over yourself. And she picks up another robe off the stack, hands it out. There's still 3 robes. As though, on the 24 insight, it's as though these conjured robes, that magic that conjured them, is somehow still flowing.
I think she'll just sit there. It's like, so she gets that, she'll just kind of sit there and think about it for a moment. You did very well while we were gone, Lily, but we have to get ready to go.
Okay. And you see...
Make sure you get baby.
She does. She gets that, and then she hands you this sack of coins. Just because of your shopping and taking care of Iska's finances in the past, there's probably 200 to 300 gold in this.
Yeah.
She has moved a lot of robes, and out of people's generosity in this place, among middle-level nobles, have handed baby a pile of gold.
All right, that, you know what, that goes in Lily's college fund. She earned it. She earned it fair and square. I'm not taking it from. That's college fund. Dustin will be entrusted till it's her time.
So, what school is she going to?
Think about the future. My children are important to me.
But she's going to Vice U. We are not sending her to Sojourn State. No. I will not have anyone.
There will be no house divided. You are nothing.
Sojourn State. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
Those Sojourn State Planeswalkers, man. That's a horrible team. They cheat every time. The refs on their side.
Oh, my oh, no.
Vice Vortexes all day. Vice Vortexes rule!
This is not canon. This is gonna have to be a thing.
You're not making a spin-off series for high school.
Dude, I've already literally
written that.
This is the spin-off series.
Say that.
We've been playing the spin-off series the whole time. The real story is coming next.
Exactly.
Sorry, it was the Sojourn State.
It's basically, yes, Sojourn State and the Vice U Vortexes and Sojourn State Planeswalkers.
Planeswalkers, that's what it was.
With Dean Adolo? What?
Dean Adolo, yes.
Yes.
Dude, I kind of want to do this one shot. I really think I kind of want to do this one shot.
Can we make it stupid anime high school drama?
Dude, we're doing worse than Monster Prom. It's gonna be like,
oh my gosh, yes.
It's gonna be the homecoming game where they're fighting where they're doing the vortexes. Combat is going to be whatever sport they play in my world.
I kind of need this now.
And do you want to know a major thing? There is a high school rule set out there that I know back of my hand.
It sounds like it sounds like Good Guy Pie is DMing.
Hey.
Hey.
We can make this work. And also, hey, Kaihaka, you know what? Expedition Point community is a totally valid start, but you graduate from Vice U. Go Vice Vortexes.
Yeah. Vice Vortexes rule!
Are we doing this 5-minute long sidetrack?
Yes, we really are.
Yeah,
We're
Keep going.
okay. So
okay, so we get the buddy, got Lily.
so
Okay.
What's our love triangle?
where are you heading with Lily? Are you heading back onto the Midway or elsewhere? It is almost 3 in the morning. I mean, it is. This is the night melee. Started at midnight with all of the everything going on. We're approaching probably 3 in the morning. You all have not secured any type of housing. You do know, as you did bump into Rian. Rian does have his magnificent tavern. And he is back on the Midway. He was over there.
So she'd be looking for him.
Okay.
Yeah. And she'll let the others know that's where she's headed.
Okay. Yeah, he's out there with Balshirian. He seems to have sort of blended himself into the shadows, as he is persona non grata amongst the Arcana Mystica as well. We're going to pan over to Iska and the rest of the party who are here in the lab after Riley has sort of awakened as his new self. This before, where he was very much obviously a natural construct made out of vines and bark, wood, metal as well from Ambrose's contributions before. Now very much looking of flesh and bone, still botanical in nature, and his features do not seem to have sort of settled yet. He's kind of almost looking a bit like a blank, sort of mannequin-like. But even as he sort of gets his bearings on breathing, walking again, being a juggernaut rune forged, he is a big guy. He's probably about 6'7", a little bit taller even than Luck, but still kind of not quite fully formed. Iska, Ambrose is there. Theo, the fate reincarnation of Bati, your nemesis, there as well. And Ambrose sort of steps over to you now that this procedure, this merging of the life and the death rune is done, and kind of looks at you with concern. I know this wasn't easy, and it might have felt forced on you, but the only thing I can say is, well, you, future you, said that it was important.
She'll just kind of nod, almost like staring through him a little bit, and just says, before we leave, I need to talk to you. And she says you, she turns to Theo alone. And she'll go ahead and just kind of turn away and just let the rest of, the party gather themselves. Riley has just become this flesh and blood thing, but she just, before we leave, that's like kind of the last thing she wants to do.
Ambrose takes a second and sort of puts his hand on your shoulder, if you'll let him, if you don't pull away.
I'll stop.
Maiska had one other thing that she said I should tell you, that it would maybe help with a lot of what you're going through. All of us, all of these titles, all of these destinies, these ordained, chosen by the stars, the reborn, the burdened, mother of the elements, hand of the ancients. They're cycles. People move into and out of those. Kel and now me, sort of holding up the stone as the burdened. But she wanted you to know. The singer of the fates. It's always you. It's always been you. It's not a title. It's not that you were locked in by something else. It's always been you guiding your own fate. It's just the way that one works.
She'll take her hand, kind of put it on top of his, who's still resting on her shoulder, and just for the first time since this entire encounter started, just give him like a little smirk and say, well, I guess I better not screw it up then, huh?
Well.
And she'll walk away.
Okay. So, Axel Briley looks to you. I think I'm tired. But I've never slept before. How do you wake up? What if I don't wake up? What if
You'll wake up. Your body works. Will sort itself out. Right? We've all learned it. You just have to learn a little bit older than the rest of us. We're fine.
Will you be there?
Clothes. Absolutely. We'll get you some clothes. We'll find a place to bunk down, and you'll need a rest, I think, as well. So we'll all be there.
About this time, you hear Luna's message come in about trying to go find Rian.
Yeah. We'll find Rian and maybe have his little house if he wants to. But we might also can ask Mim at some point. Is everyone ready to go? Ambrose, can we head out?
I think I'm going to work on the bracers. I've got a lot to do to try to figure all of this out, but Lad has an extensive database, so he should be able to help me out. But it's going to be at least morning, if not longer, before I get this translation figured out.
All right. Well, Riley will head out. I don't know if Vidar or Iska, Adolo, if you want to join us, luck. This is probably tall. You can't make that armor again, can you? Sort of looks over to Theo. Like, even without the actual function, just the piece, the empty armor, the adaptive armor.
I can try. I mean,
it's really useful it's very useful, but that's all right.
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. He kind of sees this as an end to getting good with the party, and you can see him suddenly.
Low priority, but I would very much appreciate it.
You think he's going to let me work on the bracers?
It's Olin? I don't think he's got anything against you.
No, I'm saying Ambrose is going to want to work on the bracers himself. Not Adolo. Ambrose. You see Ambrose is deep over the bracers, trying to figure them out.
He sort of looks at the other and... So I have some tips. If you want to get his attention away from the braces, hold on a moment, I'll write something down. Don't let him get a hold of this. He will write mischief-making tips.
Oh. Good, yeah.
To distract Ambrose a little bit so he can get involved. Even if it just gets his attention away from them, then you can talk to him about it.
So, this would be a lot easier if I've got some sort of magical armor base to upgrade instead of starting from scratch. I know you guys adventure a lot. Do you all have anything, or have access to get something?
Well,
we have the dragon armor, but we're already using that one.
I don't use it that much anymore.
Well, that's the thing. He could just use dragon armor as elf if he wanted to.
Yeah, with your draconic.
He could just attune to it. It's the idea he wants another set of armor so that he doesn't need to use that one.
I mean, he has breastplate and a little shield.
I mean, we could, like I said, I mean, if there's I don't know what you all have magical base wise, but him upgrading a magical base to become reactive. So, I mean, whether it's the Elven Chain, I think you've got Elven Chain, you've got the Dragon Armor, there's a +1 breastplate somewhere. Y'all let me know, and we can say that you handed something off to him. Or you also have Mim, who's literally, just half a dimension away.
We can always just ask for, hey, can we have some help with...
Yeah, to grab a set of +1 armor to, let Theo work on. He kind of does look at you weirdly, though. He goes, so there's... It's gonna need a soul?
Well, it doesn't need a soul, does it need to function? Because I can life rune. I have the means to make it function for a short period of time. Sort of a supplementary soul.
So kind of make a socket that you can put a different rune in. That could work.
Yeah, and life rune would function as a soul in the usage. Right? No, I think that
I'm
would work.
Sure there won't be any
like
unintended consequences from that. He sort of looks...
Hey, this is all theoretical, but hey, that's a good idea if you want to do that. Or like again, low priority. If things become more important, I can always find more armor, or I can magic something.
Okay. So, y'all head out. Are you heading towards Rian? Are you heading towards Mim? Vidar, Adolo, we haven't heard from you. Luck, what are you up to? Big heavy magic just happened. You do know that Rian has that nice set of taps in his magnificent tavern.
Luke's just like, not today. And just sort of hobbles off to go and drink. Just not today.
So you're going to Rian? Where are you?
He's off to drink.
Okay.
Think I can do that.
Yeah.
So you're heading towards Rian's, or you're heading towards...
Rian's.
Okay, so...
okay, good. I misunderstood then.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were wandering off to, like, over to the Leaping Lion or something.
Yeah.
The rest of y'all, are you heading towards... to see if you can find Rian to go to the Magnificent...
Axel's going to take Riley to... like a quick shopping trip for clothes and basics and stuff. Now that Riley needs them.
Yep.
Yeah, you should get some clothes on.
Shopping montage, shopping montage, shopping montage, shopping montage.
No, it's just, I mean, it's a fashion montage.
Fashion montage. So,
Hey!
Considering it is 3 a.m.
well,
Yeah, it's like,
I was gonna say it's 3 a.m. and half of the conclave is destroyed.
yeah, it's like, what can you get on like a quick?
I mean, the
basis?
thing you
You get some red robes.
there's a couple things. You do have Lily's red robes. You also have your the cloak, which basically makes him
Which
look
we
like
took
he's
with
fully
us.
dressed. Of course you did.
Took those with us.
Yeah, the 3 remaining red robes. There's probably, believe it or not, where basically some of these tents were blown apart by the explosion and by the intrusion of the Twilight Bazaar onto the Midway. There are probably some just clothes think basically merchandise that has been thrown on the ground. They might be a little bit muddy, but you have prestidigitation.
Yeah, it's supposed to, yeah. Actual wood.
You can get something to get you through till morning.
Yeah, something to keep them, warm.
Throw me an investigation, because we're playing D&D, and that's what you do. And I've had 2 beers, and so, hey, yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Hopefully I've used all the bat luck up and you're fine.
This will be fine. It's not like something I'm not going to roll like I did last week.
It's just going to be how fashionable things you find.
The week before. 14.
On a 14, serviceable. You find some serviceable, some trousers, a tunic, a jerkin, nothing spectacular. They don't match at a 14, but, the biggest thing was finding something in his size. He is a big boy. As you sort of search around, you do. Balshirian is hard to hide as well, being a huge griffin. Over sort of in the shadows, you see he's disguised once again as a warhorse. But Axel, just with your intelligence, warhorses aren't that big. I mean, even the biggest of warhorses aren't as big as Balshirian is, attempting to look small. And so you all are able to find him, and you see Rian sort of poke out from, just as before, sort of almost like it looks like a drape of vines that he spreads apart, and there's a slight glowing portal behind where you all can step through into the courtyard of Rian's and Nate's sort of magnificent little sort of tavern and courtyard, stables, etc. We're going to check in with Adolo. For the first time in your life, there are no manacles on your wrists.
Yeah. It feels pretty good. Despite the confusion of whatever else has just been happening, he has had a sort of strange smile on his face this whole time, and he just keeps sort of rubbing his wrists as he's walking. Not really. He's just sort of contemplating things to himself. But he will follow Luck to the bar, looking for, just, he has the chance to just sort of drink and just not have any responsibilities for a while.
Yeah, you follow Luck, who makes basically a beeline through the front doors to the right over to this, it looks almost like a standard tavern type bar. High stools, a nice sort of brass footrest. Behind it, actually, it looks like Nate has beaten you there. He is already pulling out drafts from one of the taps of barrels behind it. And as you all walk up, I figured you'd be joining me. What are you in the mood for? I'm trying this pale something, but it's adequate. I'm probably going to go to something a little stronger here in a second. How about y'all?
Give me your best. Today is a celebration.
Oh, okay. You see him close his eyes and think for a second, and you see a 7th tap appear, as this is behaves as though it's a magic mansion, and what is needed appears. And he goes, this is one that I have been enjoying lately. It's got a kick, but tasty. And he pulls out this draft. It is a stout that Luck will recognize all the way back from Falcon's Crest. One of his favorite, this Drow stout from up out of the dark burrow of Falcon's Crest, and it is strong and foamy, and he places it down in front of Adolo and sort of looks to Luck.
Yeah.
Draws up one of those as well for Luck, and you see him sort of toss the this pale ale that he had and draw one for himself. So, celebration. 2, and he sort of raises his hand, raises his glass, and looks to Adolo for him to finish a cheers. A toast.
A toast.
To making your own fate.
It's quite adequate for the day before the sisters come together in conjunction.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, these other...
Vidar, Luck, I'll be honest, I have no idea what just happened back in there.
Do I look like I do magic as a hobby?
Truth be told, I don't think anything would surprise me at this point.
Well,
I think the answer is yes, but I'm not sure.
this little friend, Ryan Talia, just been the source of a lot of problems lately. She burns, she's screaming. Oh, she's screaming.
Oh, you hear, Vidar, It is echoing just this seething malevolence.
He's got he's currently sweating, like perspirating, and he's like got that strain in like one corner of his eye, like he's trying his best to hold this, like not let it reach into the network and go across. And he's just
Blade of your enemy, now yours.
Technically originally mine, just lost.
I can see it.
Found its way back. Not happy with me. Long story short, she left, or I left. I'm not too sure. But she's not happy.
What will you do with her now?
I don't know, that's the thing. When I entered the melee, I wanted to... At first I wanted to shatter her. When I heard that you said that she was just being so incredibly savage, I wanted to break her. Destroy the blade. And then getting into the melee, I wanted to take her away, just to get her out of hands and try to suppress her. And now I don't know. Like, I can just hear these agonizing screams in my head from her. It's not going away. It's not quieting down. I want to help her.
Yes.
But 300,000 years of screaming, rage. I don't know what to do. This is a sun god, pretty much, from my understanding, from what you've told me down from the Seven Lands.
Right.
But I don't know what to do, to be honest.
Well,
how do you save someone who hates you?
it's a difficult task. Someone who does not want to be saved is more lost than an enemy. You must help them find the path.
Putting your nose into other people's business is what we do, apparently.
Reoccurring problems are also our main thing, what we do around here. Old problems need new solutions.
We ain't getting another tornado, are we?
Tornado?
You weren't there.
No.
Nor was I.
Apparently there was a tornado.
Yes.
Speaking of disasters,
Good work averting it.
luck. That explosion.
Oops.
I was expecting that to go much worse.
I was as well, actually, but it did still go really, really bad.
The fortunes favored you. As considering the power I could see there, to take out so many of those invisible beasts, and yet only harm one other person.
That's not
Incredible.
incredible. No, never will be. Until I can do something like that without a single hair being hurt on another person's head, that will never be incredible. To protect people is to make sure they never get hurt in the first place. That's why we have to do our best. People have died today because we weren't good enough. Remember that.
You speak for yourself. Do not presume to speak for others. Your guilt is your own.
You want a drink?
She'll just kind of like show the water bubble because she does something.
You see Nate hold up an empty glass. Do you want a glass?
Nah, just move it off.
His guilt may be his own, but it's a sentiment worth sharing.
Worth sharing, yes. Worth pushing on everyone else, no. There's a difference between saying, I was not good enough, I felt I didn't do enough, and saying none of us did. That's presumptuous. That is my issue.
I would not cast guilt upon you, nor on any of us. We honestly performed some fantastical feats, and though there was a cost, there is much more saved.
You see Nate look over at us. Speaking of, I assume you're in Goliath form, yes?
Yeah.
That thing you did to the dragon where you were like, and he just like...
You saw that?
Well, I was gonna shoot the dragon, but then out of nowhere, it was, well, at first I thought, oh shit, we got another problem. We got a giant on our hands. But then, so, what are you? Who are you?
I am Idol. That is all. Truth be told, I was expecting the dragon to put up a bigger fight.
I gotta say, I kind of was too, but...
Truth be told, I wasn't expecting you to confirm my theory.
What theory is that?
That Nevwinks can't touch the ground.
They can't? Because I don't think Luna's actually there to see
No,
that
she
part.
probably wasn't at
Okay.
that point.
Yeah.
It seemed to sear as if being pressed against the grill. Wish I'd saved some meat.
Perhaps
Evidence.
not the best to consume.
Yeah. Axel, I don't know if you've come into the room or are overhearing this, because you had
Yes.
true sight at the time.
Yes.
I'm
He
sorry?
was also around when they actually landed.
Yeah. You would have, I mean, because you saw, I believe, the fact that it was sort of those currents of the Vice, sort of that all the ley lines flow towards the Vice, that basically when the dragon came in contact, it started sucking the magic out of them. Like I said, I'm not sure. You definitely saw it, whether you were hearing this conversation or not, though I don't know.
He came into the building and went to find a room for him and Riley.
Okay, cool.
So skipped out on that.
So, for general knowledge, well, Adolo, glad you were on our side. He sort of clinks your glass. Speak truly.
And you on mine. This is a fine ale you have.
Well, it's really Rion's, I guess. But, you know, it's really whatever you can think of. I mean, you're from the southern continent?
Indeed.
You have a favorite adult beverage you enjoy?
Oh, do not tempt me, sir.
Does it come in bottles or on draft?
Bottles, usually.
So just think real hard about that bottle. Think about what it tastes like, and imagine it in my hand.
Yes. And I look, and appearing in his hand is this sort of green glass bottle that
Absinthe.
the liquid shifting inside as this this dark, almost it's like an orangey brown liquid inside. And as he pops the cork, there is a very strong alcoholic scent coming off of it.
Woo! That's something. Can I serve it in glass, or do we need something that's gonna more magical to hold this stuff?
A normal glass will be fine, though I would not have more than a sip or two.
Shots. And so he starts pouring out, basically, literally as he's like turning the bottle, shot glasses appear on the bar as he pours. And you guys, we're going to go ahead and do this constitution check. Who's taking a shot of Adolo's brew?
Oh yeah, Dazari picked it up.
Yeah, okay, roll. Anyone who's taking a shot of it, roll me a constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
You asked me.
You're a cheater.
Look!
You're a cheater.
I
You're a
said
cheater. You're a cheater.
3
You're a cheater. You
years.
cheat, sir. You
3
cheat, sir.
3 years, and I have never
Sir.
been able to get luck
You
drunk.
are a
The
hack.
17-year-old
You are
in
a
our
hack.
party started at 17, now 21 or 20. 21? 19.
Oh, you're so young. I hate you.
We've never been able to have him fail a single constitution saving throw. Speedy. Yeah, dude. This is exactly what you thought it was, and it's exactly what you thought it was.
Yep.
Vidar?
Yeah, it tastes. It's got a very strong. It's got like a sweetness to it that sort of hits at first, and then immediately after it is just like fire and just like spice. Like it seems like it's brewed from some sort of either fruits or like sweet peppers, and it just burns on the way down. Then afterwards, it like when it calms down, it's like you're left with a sweet aftertaste in your mouth, but your throat is still on fire.
Oh, did Axel cast Fireball on this? What the heck? Oh. That's strong.
What? Oof. Where'd you find this one?
That was from the Draculvar jungle, my friend. It's impressive that it could be procured here, but just as I imagined.
Vidar's eyes are watering at it. It's just...
More conjured than procured, but yeah, I need to do one for Nate. Oh, poor Nate. Nate does not have a high constitution save. Yeah.
That's not one of his innate abilities.
Really? It's not even 415 yet.
So, Dolo, where will you go from here?
On a 14, he's actually doing a little better than Vidar's doing, but not much. He's... That end part isn't bad, but... And you see him take a big slug of this this drow stout that, again, is strong in its own right, so it's probably not doing a lot for his mental state. But as we leave the group with good beer, good friends, strong shots, Iska lingered in leaving the lab. And after Axel finishes his discussion with Theo and begins to think about how he goes over to a work table that seems to maybe be his workspace.
Okay, so you said Theo was at his workspace, basically?
Yeah, basically there's a table that's got some working things on it. You actually do see this owl that is sort of perched up above that you've heard a story of from Ambrose.
She'll walk up behind him and as she's approaching, her fingers tense a bit, and she stabilizes them by grasping the gun as she approaches, and she stops about, 2 feet behind him, and she releases it, kind of clenches her fist real quick, and
You can do it. He rolled a perception check. I understand. I've fulfilled what I've needed to fulfill. This... You can do it.
I know I can do it. I've done it before. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if there's any part that's left. But I've done it before.
I don't remember. But I've been told by you. And thank you. I mean, who wants to grow into a monster? Whoever dreams that their life will be one for whatever reason, turns them in to that.
The stone. The one whatever. The stone you have.
Ambition. Yeah.
Did she tell you it was ours?
Yeah.
She told you the importance of it, right? That this is the burden. This is what you carry now.
She did.
But Theo, what is your ambition?
There was a part of the story that you told me that hearing it now, well, 15 years ago, stuck with me. I made terrible, horrible things for all the wrong reasons and to be used in all the wrong ways. But they were like nothing that ever came before them. And I try to imagine that if those things could somehow be used to make the world better instead of worse, to make people's lives easier instead of harder, to be used instead of for just my benefit, but everyone's benefit, that then maybe, just maybe, instead of being remembered as the villain who almost destroyed everything, that maybe one day I could be a hero too.
That's a damn foolish one. That's big and broad and idealistic and almost unachievable.
He reaches across his desk and hands up the stone. Points to the word.
Theo, I know it's a foolish one. Because it was mine. And it still is mine.
Who do you think I caught it from?
Try to remember things from the stories. Remember all of it. Learn from it. Figure out where he went wrong. And I will do everything in my power to remember that you are not him. There's a lot in a name. You don't want to be remembered as Bati, this torturous murderer, selfish, self-righteous, and ultimately dead. Theo suits you. I like it.
I hope I can live up to it. And if it's any consolation, he looks over to Ambrose, who is completely absorbed into the bracers, and then looks at you. I've got two people looking over me, where I'm from, to make sure I do the best I can.
You know, they were really beautiful in all their horror. The stuff he made.
I gotta say, the chandeliers in the stories sounded pretty darn cool.
do good. Just please do good. Okay? Don't make me or other me, I don't really have a grasp on this yet, regret this, all right?
For sure. He looks around, seeing that you all are alone, and Ambrose not listening. I need to tell you something. It's about luck. And he leans over and whispers something in your ear. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Look, Goldheart is lawful good, but he still killed a guy last session.
Oh, God.
That's exactly what it was. I'm going to go take a quick bio break.
I probably have the lowest body count as any lawful good character in this entire group in their D&D history.
You care, but you care, so you're worse.
I don't know, man. You've killed Stills a lot of Adars. Good work.
Bird, if you can talk a little bit about our charity, I'm going to run and take a bio, and then you can run and maybe miss Pun of the Week. You're welcome.
Please, Lord, please.
I'm so hurt.
We are raising money for Game to Grow, which is an organization that uses RPGs like D&D, the very game we're playing here, to teach kids empathy, to let them explore emotions, to build social networks, particularly among kids who are on the autism spectrum or who are having social issues, just a tough time building friendships on their own. It's a wildly successful program that I've heard just incredible things about. I got to meet the man running it, who is so great, and you can tell his heart is in the right place through all this. So if you can donate at all, that's awesome. If you can't, that's awesome. Hang out, have a great time with us. Just dunk on Luck when he gets back, please. That's all I could ask of you. Now I'm gonna take my break.
Oh no! Hey everybody. So
This is
yeah.
your legacy.
Fuck us up, fam. Fuck us up.
And he's not here, so there's segregation. I guess. Yeah, I guess what we have is. Oh wait, we missed a week, didn't we?
We did.
That means it's a palindrome time. So we will start with the palindrome. I forgot that I had to do this, so I'm going to do the first one that comes to mind. Today's palindrome is, Madam, I'm Adam.
Good palindrome.
I love it.
Wait, but your name's not Adam. That doesn't make any sense.
How do you know? You don't know my life. I asked you to call me
I don't know your
Energy
life,
9.
but I do know your name.
Have you seen my birth
It's not
certificate?
Adam.
You don't know. You don't know.
You know what? Maybe I have seen your birth certificate. You don't know.
You definitely have it, because I don't know where it is.
Okay, well, yeah, why do you think you don't know where it is? Because I have it.
Oh. I'm sorry,
Adam.
This is perfect filler. This is great.
This is a true story.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, this is terrible news. This is horrible. Just absolutely terrible. Hurry up, put your headphones in. Come on, no, it didn't work.
Alright, just about everybody's back. So it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Pun of the Week. What do you call a fly without wings?
Don't know. Don't really know.
A walk.
What?
Credit to my friend who told me that one. You know who you are, and I can't remember your chat name. Credit to you. Dave, it's not my fault.
It's like, even if you know it, it's still incredibly painful.
Oh yeah, that's an oldie but a goodie.
Oh, man,
I'd forgotten it till she reminded me, like, oh, that's great. It's your fault, Saturday.
Oof.
I don't think that's a pun.
Oh!
I'm sorry.
Oh!
I'm
I
sorry.
don't think that's a pun. I think
We have
that's
a
joke.
challenge.
Oh no! We have. This is the first time in 3 years has it been called out.
Good thing it's your last. Good thing it's your last session guesting with
Oh, it's
us.
about to be your last
Yes.
session. Doubting my puns? Excuse me. Excuse me. Not a pun? Mm-mm. I can give you more. Do you want me to rapid fire? Because I can do that.
No.
Rapid fire. We're waiting on Bird. Let's see some machine gun punning back and forth. I want to see.
What do you call a fake noodle?
What?
An impasta.
I used this
Boom.
pun last week.
Okay,
See that? I don't watch
Speedy.
you.
Speedy. Pun back. Let's come on. This is a
2
pun
weeks
battle.
ago, on this stream, I used this pun.
Pun battle.
I
Pun
said,
battle.
I said, what do you call a changeling who's pretending to be an Italian chef? An impasta.
Yeah, I didn't
So
listen.
there's mid
Yeah,
puns as
well that's on
and-
you, all right? Stale pun.
I need a new pun then. You gotta. What's your comeback?
Me?
What it,
Yeah, come on. You're a challenger here, buddy.
God. I mean. What do you call a crocodile who solves crimes?
What?
An investigator.
Classic.
Alicia.
wow, that's
Gator.
not the right setup for that.
Listen,
Alicia-
First of all,
I
Alicia.
put you on the spot, all right?
Horrible spot. Can't do it.
Alicia.
It's pretty good.
what do you call
Better
a
than
cow with
yours.
no legs?
At least it's a
What?
pun.
Ground beef.
Ooh, that's nice. Ground beef. Speedy, you coming back? I was gonna say, hit the
No, I don't
Google
have to worry.
fast.
You
Hit
know
the
what?
Google
It's fine.
fast.
I'll concede
That's right.
a pun.
Stay in your lane, sir. Stay in your lane.
Pun fight. Don't make her take her earbuds out. Better hold my earbuds.
We about to have a real vice search. We gonna jack the weave up completely.
Welcome to the abuse you get when you come and guest on the Vice.
Hey, I didn't start this.
I
Never coming back.
And Bird missed all of that.
Bird
I'm sure
missed
he'll
all
be
of
so happy he did.
you missed a pun fight.
You did.
Several
Speedy, our guest, in our house after we gave him all this hospitality, questioned Alicia's
did.
pun.
He dared to.
I said it
He
wasn't a pun.
dared
It
to.
wasn't a pun. It was a joke.
It was a pun. Just because you don't know a pun if it hit you doesn't make it not a pun, sir. You're a little young to be saying what's a pun and what's not.
A little. Oh, good lord! Now we're doing the age thing.
Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna bring it back in. We're gonna bring it
Oh
back
my
in.
God.
We're gonna bring it back in. We're gonna bring it back in. I'm gonna take control of my stream
Oh
again.
my gosh, no, that was the thing I forgot. I did have a time filler. Because I
Well, we
had...
don't need to fill
we-
time anymore. Everyone is back.
No, too bad. We're doing it. Because we talked about Vice U and Sojourn State, so they need chants and cheers for their games.
No.
We want a Vice Surge, Vice U. We want a Vice Surge, Vice U.
Is this an American thing or two British ones?
I love it.
Okay, now you can do
Okay, bringing it back in.
Now
Bring-
proceed with your little game or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, we can just do entertainment.
The episode is the real time filler.
This is So, Axel Riley, you've gone and found a room to go and because Riley's a little concerned. He is sort of a new being, so as this is a magical space, you all are able to find a room, a couple of place where you can hang up your hammock if you want to hang up your hammock, or a couple twin beds, or however you want to.
He'll go for a bed
Okay.
for Riley because more standard than a hammock.
And Riley's just, so how's this work? Do you just kind of...
I've never thought about how to fall asleep. It kind of just happens, or kind of just doesn't happen, depending on my brain. So, how about lie down?
He goes,
Make
lies
yourself
down, and
Comfortable. Make yourself comfortable, and figure out what works for you. comfortable, where you can relax.
Sure.
I can't make you relax or get comfortable. You have to figure that out.
Sure. Okay. And you all close your eyes, right?
Yeah.
And he closes his eyes.
Close your eyes and...
What's next?
You try to think of, well, not to think and think of nothing and just let yourself relax. That's the big thing, relaxing a lot and not thinking of things.
As you're talking and explaining, you hear snoring coming from Riley.
It's just a moment of relief. And because this is Axel's room, of course he thought out the room, so there is a desk for him to sit at inside the room with just a very small light, so that he has enough light to write and work by, and he's gonna write out his notes. He's gonna sort of note out all the things for the day and sort of go over things and memories and try and sort some stuff out before he heads to bed.
One of the things you do sort out, if you look in your runes folder, is the Gate Master rune, as you took time to understand that.
Ooh. Oh. Oh boy.
The other thing that you notice... Oh, I forgot to update it. But the other thing that you notice, if you go flipping through your book and you sort of pass by the index, you'll notice the Death Rune, Destrux, and the Life Rune, Solex. And as you look at them and see the two of them in their shapes, sort of these upturned, sort of U shapes with their draconic being with a sort of central structure, you will realize that when you flip them over and combine them, they make the Kuznal rune. One that you were not able to decipher before. That now, as you look at it, you realize is the Soul rune.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for this one.
Go for it.
Should be a save. I'm gonna roll a save. Needs to be to 15. Okay, so he will go to bed tonight, though.
Okay.
He's not gonna spend all night studying this.
Okay.
It's like, how does he have the common sense and self-control to not study this all night?
Nice. It is a complex rune, the most complex that you've seen, but you do recognize that the rune that was made from the Life and the Death rune, that they in fact combined to make the Soul rune, the Kuznal.
Oof. Boy. But yeah, after he's gone through that, he sort of regretfully sort of closed the book and leave it on the desk and sort of hop to his hammock. You keep a couple of things with him. Just, who knows? Maybe in dreams will work, as he doesn't have a pillow, but he'll sleep with next to Vaughn Malik. And his Book of Runes, he'll just cuddle up to that.
Yeah, cuddling up with 2 daggers and a Book of Runes.
The daggers are set off to the side a little bit. He's not cuddling up to those. He has a book for that.
You do eventually fall asleep. And as you do, you begin to see the last moments of that fight between you and the Master Diviner, Thalion. It is clearly in front of you, except you are a third person. You are seeing both yourself and your future self standing there, having just entered the tent. The Master Diviner, the Duke having just revealed himself, Vidar. The whole scene laid out in front of you. This tent of Mims that has been torn apart. And you see the Duke say those last words to get out of his daughter's house. Put out his hand and throw the Master Diviner backward. This angle, you see it differently. You see a rock with a rune inscribed on it around his neck on a chain. And having just studied your index, you recognize it. It is the Shadow Rune. And as he is thrown backwards, you see that rune begin to activate. And it's the rune itself that dissolves the Master Diviner into shadow, not the Duke's actions. And as that rune activates, you see these waves of the time rune that are coming off of your future self from the imperfect casting of it entangle with that shadow rune as he eventually completely dissolves into shadow, some sort of fail-safe. You recognize those last moments of that shadow because you've seen it before. It is the shadow that came charging out of that gate and that got away when you had first cast the gate rune and disappear into the night. Roll me a wisdom saving throw. On a 13. I don't know, you tell me. Do you start awake or do you stay asleep?
He's used to having these, like, he's slept through divinations and foresight and, you know, uncomfortable visions, so he stays asleep. Okay. He slept through things like this, and it really doesn't register until he wakes up.
Okay.
Sort of learn.
So, the rest of you, what do you do with your evening? Do you eventually head off to slumber? Do you stay up drinking all night? What are your plans?
Luna will attempt to pull Luck aside at some point if he acquiesces. If not, she'll leave it alone.
He'll hear you out.
Okay. Luck. I tell you this because you still have a part to play in everything. If you do nothing but focus on your failures, you'll become your own worst enemy. You can feel bad about what you can't accomplish, but you can't just focus on what you haven't done. You'll miss all the good you've been able to do. Being defeated helps no one. Recognizing your flaws and improving does.
It won't bring them back.
No, and you will have to live with that. And I specify live, so shape up.
Thanks. You were right on that one. As he walked off.
Yep.
That's the best pep talk from Luna I've ever heard of.
Luna's a straight to the point, straight shooter. Isco, after your talk with Theo, do you head to go find Rian? Do you join up with the rest of the party?
On my way out, I walk up behind Ambrose, who's reading, and I smack him in the back of the head. I lean forward and I say, "You could have given me a warning that you brought the reincarnated time-traveling version of my arch-nemesis, who I just killed. All right?" And I just storm off. I am pretty upset
But
about
would you
this.
have come?
No.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I need a drink. I will make my way to the mansion, her magic mansion that we're in.
Yep.
And meet up with the rest of the group.
Yeah, you're able to find it fairly easy, and certainly with Lyle's guidance and sort of the talk. You see Adolo in his Goliath form. He's been drinking.
Vidal's had that
What's
one
going
shot,
on?
that's
You
it.
look very stressed.
Oh
Here,
my
try some of this drink.
God,
It's from my home country.
I can smell the alcohol radiating off you from here, and God, I need some, please. Yes. And just immediate drinks it like it's going to be a beer.
So
it's not.
Constitution saving throw from Iska.
Great.
It's like,
Yeah.
I
will self-impose. Go ahead. I will self-impose disadvantage because this is one of the things where you just, you think it's something else and
gank.
to be nice and smooth. And she's gonna shove this thing.
Yeah.
I'm instantly going to turn to
could
me
go
and
very
say, could you get a
poorly.
bucket ready? Could you get a bucket?
Oh,
Would have been.
man! That would have been so funny though. Oh man!
You think? You're like,
Right.
actually, you described to me that truly it's a nat 20 followed by a 4. You tell me how that goes.
She chugged, absolutely just chugged as much as she can. And then kind of puts
That's
it down and
impressive for
hands
such
it
a strong
back
liquor.
to Adolo. Takes a second. What?
I mean, that's in your terms, I think 180 proof.
No, just burp, crawls out of her. Oh, all right. I'm gonna get some what? Just.
If Luna's back on her side with left, she will not stop Iska from falling because you have to learn from your mistakes. But she will give Iska float down a water bubble to her if she needs.
Hey yo!
Oh, Iska. Fair enough. What will you do with your time now, Adolo, other than handing out alcoholic beverages to small women?
It doesn't
Vidar.
sound very nice when you put it like that.
I have a gun.
I know, I've yet to be shot by it.
Oh God.
I'm waiting for the day I can have a bullet hole, Iska. Adding to the
You
scar
remember
collection.
this is your last ride, right?
Absolutely, yep. Nope, that's still apparent. I've avoided death a couple of times now, and so I feel like I'm pushing my luck.
He's asleep.
Oh.
She says that deadpan. She's dead serious.
Boo!
She's dead serious.
Disappointing. Riley has a body that can get drunk now.
Yeah, but he's still
Missing
young.
out.
No.
I mean, I don't know how old he is technically. I imagine it's something like 1 year, but his body is large.
4 months? I think
months.
he's 4
Yeah,
months.
he's not a year.
No, that logic checks out. If a baby's really big, you can just booze it up. Yep, I like this guy.
No, that is technically I'm 3 months old, but whatever. No, 4, 5.
I was pointing at you.
5.
You're the baby I'm talking about.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, God.
I shouldn't be drinking either then.
Vidar,
Oh.
to your question. I don't know yet. Tomorrow, I will join you if Ambrose has an answer for the message within those bracers. I will listen to whatever message about the world's fate and Axel and whatever comes out of it. And then whatever the fuck I want to do.
A man free of burdens. It's good to see.
I have some ideas, but I do not want to be hasty. Just in case whatever message requires something else of me still. I would take it into consideration at least. Ask again tomorrow.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think we all need a big sleep after today.
It is getting fairly late. Rian does come in. He does slap Adolo on the shoulder and go, I killed one first.
I killed a bigger one.
Okay, so it might have been bigger, but I killed one first.
That's
fair
true.
enough.
Will you guys stop arguing sizes?
Let the record show I did not say it.
Well,
You know, this is the best. This is the. I like a drunk Iskin now. Okay, this is getting lively. This is getting funny. This is great. We haven't seen this since when? Been a while now. Carrying all sorts of stress on my shoulders.
Time travel!
I don't think I'm going to compete with this guy about the size when whatever that is you became. So you're not a Goliath under there, right?
Didn't you?
I mean, that was just a potion, but you are right. So not the reason you think. And I transform back into my natural changeling form.
I've read about your species.
It's so slick.
It's not quite as imposing as the Goliath form that I choose to put on usually, no.
But you said you are from the southern continent. I thought your race and Dracova, and you can see him putting the math together of what that means. And he puts his hand on your shoulder and goes, oh. It looks like he's about to say, I'm sorry, but you can tell he also doesn't quite know what to say.
I just slap him on the shoulder and say, my friend, my wrists are not bound. I am a free man, and you have nothing to be sorry for.
Well, from what I saw out there with that dragon, there is, if you don't mind living in a dump like this and sort of going from town to town and helping out where you can and taking down a Netherwing once in a while. Could use someone like you, me, Nate, once we part ways with whatever trouble the rest of these folks are going to get themselves into.
You have no idea of the trouble we're going to get ourselves into.
I feel like I have some now.
You want to hold a sun god? No? Okay.
And that's the cue for you all to go to bed.
Ask me again when I'm sober.
Iska, roll me a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage because you're drunk to see whether you actually get to Ryan Talia before someone else. Good thing that was a disadvantage.
Actually, I'm not holding her out. I'm just looking over and saying it to her while she's still on the floor.
I figure I figured that basically Ryan Tai is on the bar.
Oh no, she hasn't left my hand.
Oh, she hasn't left your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just holding it. You got Ryan Talia the God Sword in one hand and like a shot glass in the other.
There's something wrong
That
here.
tracks. That's pretty much on brand.
Gee, Vidar. Can't believe your mom gave you 2 swords.
I have 3 now.
At this point, though, Luna is going to basically make everybody go to bed. Or at least all of her party. She's going to suggest Dolo go to bed, but not force him.
Yeah. Mama Luna comes out.
Yes, it is time for rest, though I think it would be best if I do allow Ryan Tully to at least have the honor of having a traditional sunrise, not an artificial one.
Go to bed. There are other sunrises.
It's about 4 in the morning with a 4-hour Elven. It'd be about close.
Here's the thing, Vidar then gets up and leaves.
Luna's following you to make sure you go to bed. It's not going to be... She's seeing you on the roof. No, she's following you to make sure you actually do your trance.
You're gonna hear, Vidar, you're gonna get a very drunken, loud mental message that's just, I got you. And Luna, or Iska from the ground, Luna, help!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh!
I don't.
Can I do an insight check?
I need special manager water. That's the only thing that will
You know
save
what?
me.
Alicia, I would love to let you roll. I really would love to let you roll. Okay, if you can tell me honestly that Luna would think that Iska is lying and not go to her aid.
So here's the thing. I think she does go. Here's the thing. I think she does go there, but as soon as you say special manager water, she stops.
Okay,
so, yes, she believes you. So now she's by you. So Vidar can now sneak away, but she has not helped you yet.
I will let you then at this point roll an insight check. You tell me whether or not you have disadvantage.
I think manager water makes it even.
Yeah.
Okay, so flat roll insight.
Flat roll. Why? Why do the dice hate me? Why do they hate me?
It's like your 4th 10 today.
Luna, Iska's in some real...
That's a 3. That's a bad thing. I have +7.
Iska is really drunk. She really needs some help.
What
did Odolo give her?
Okay.
You've seen Odolo hand out illicit drugs.
That's true enough. So she will help her anyway, even though that one comment was kind of suspect. She'll go ahead and go to help Iska.
Kill me in the morning, I say mentally.
But she's not picking you up. You're being ice-led. Because you must learn from your mistakes.
Fair. That's fair.
Fair.
It's just Iska being curled.
Yes! Oh my gosh, no, I am curling Iska.
Yeah.
No, I love curling.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then actually helping with quick pass.
Is luck sweeping?
I mean, yeah, we could... Look, I love curling. I would do this.
No doubt. Luck, Odolo, are y'all staying up or are y'all finally going to bed? It is 4 a.m. And y'all aren't elves.
I don't know. Does Luck want to stay up?
Y'all are welcome to stay up if y'all want to. You're welcome to stay up and drink. Nate will stay up.
Do you want to stay up?
Do you want to stay up?
Both of y'all roll Constitution saving throws to see if you actually make it through. On 16s, if y'all want to stay up all night and drink and just be the guys at the bar, Luck's an old man in a young man's body. You're a changeling, so who knows what your metabolism is? It's like just change shape and you're sober again.
How are you not this drunk? You've had so much of this.
He's a 45-year-old man in a 25-year-old body.
Constitution.
I'm a miner.
Like you work in the mines?
Yes, did.
And do they provide you a lot of alcohol in the mines?
No, but you have to deal with noxious gas.
Does that make you resilient to the effects of alcohol?
It's the only explanation I've got.
I mean,
Also
fair
could
enough.
be the whole magical poison directly into my body to form myself into a monster, and I'm a clone. That might do it.
That all sounds like a lot. How? What?
So,
Words?
it started when I was a young boy. I lived in a village, Elevation Pit, lovely place. I recommend. And let's say, so apparently we had this tradition, and this tradition was a protector with invoked with powers that scare off monsters, beasts, and nasty stuff. That thing was actually just a demonic pact curse thing. I don't know. Demons.
So were you the protector, or was the demon the
Everyone.
protector?
Good question.
Or were neither of you the protector?
None of us was the protector.
No
I
one
think
was
it a
protecting
very-
anyone.
So the end goal of all of this was it was a long, drawn-out scheme to summon an archdevil, demon, devil. Devil?
Did you summon an archdevil?
Yeah. Don't
How'd
worry,
that go?
he's dead now.
All right. Good summoning.
Got his whole little book and everything.
What? What? Did you read the book?
No.
That's probably a good idea.
So that goes on for a bit.
So that goes on for a bit. Thank you all. So, thank you. So, the evening passes. For those who sleep, they sleep. Adolo and Luck, you do both take a point of exhaustion as morning comes around because it was a long damn day and y'all stayed up all night drinking.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine I go up and fall asleep eventually, but I'm very drunk, and when I wake up, a point of exhaustion sounds like a good word for a hangover.
Yes, point of exhaustion is basically a hangover. So y'all get up the next morning. We're going to go up to Axel's room. So, Axel, you wake up first and look over and sort of see under the covers, looks kind of rolled over the side, the very big form of your son, Riley, on the bed. And as you sort of start to stir, you can see him moving a bit as well. How do you, how's your morning go? How's your morning start, I guess? Do you wake him up? Do you let him sleep?
I think he'll let him, for his first sleep, he'll let him sleep until he wakes himself up, or wakes up on his own, really. What he does need to do is I realized that he hasn't done this yet. He needs to pull out that piece of amber, scribe a rune on it, and crush it, and he's gone for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
He goes back to yesterday to fail, and when he comes back, he's just got this down. Right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You saw the whole thing is like, I gotta do this. Gotta go fail.
Yep. No, I was going
but-
to say that basically at some point I was going to just basically be like, "Yep," and you disappear for 3 minutes, or basically 2 rounds, whatever it was, 15 seconds, and then reappear.
Yep.
As you
But you'll stay in the room until Riley wakes up.
you see Riley roll over and sort of yawn and sit up in bed. And as he is sort of botanical in nature, what does he look like? What does your son, having dreamed and knowing all of you, what does he look like as his features have now sort of settled?
Scraggly would be a very basic term. His hair is sort of just growing out. It's sort of like reedy and tangled, but it's sort of growing out into teenager's long hair. So it's sort of chin length, sort of just all over the place in front of his face. And as he yawns and sort of pulls it back, he looks very much human in many ways. He's got a large nose, pointed, stands out a little bit. Wide eyes, like quite surprised, almost permanently surprised eyes. And in fact, in the way the facial shape, in fact, has it's a little bit like luck. In that it's got the shape and the sort of this. It looks like there's some over-exaggerated features inside of Luck's face. Mm-hmm. I think it's something because Luck is the biggest of them. But yeah, he's got very scraggly hair and just sort of very exaggerated features. So everything's a bit bigger than you would expect. Sort of maybe a little the oversized baby features that he hasn't yet grown into. Mm-hmm. So very teenager.
So I'm going to ask for the party because everyone wants to know, what do his ears look like? Is he a cat boy?
That's what does he have two sets of ears? Does he have human ears and cat ears?
Human ears growing out of the cat ears.
He has human ear. He has human ears, but they're lacking any detail. They're sort of like, you just draw two rings on someone's head, and that's what they are.
Gotcha. He hasn't quite figured out ears yet.
They don't have all the sort of the actual real folds that ears do. It's sort of just rings on their head. So they're human ears, though.
Okay.
Yep. Good morning.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, when you wake up, it feels very odd.
Yeah. His voice has changed a little bit. It's gotten a bit deeper. Oof. Yeah. And you immediately hear something that you often hear from Vidar and from Luck, which is you hear his stomach growl.
Hungry.
Is that what that empty is?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's your first time being hungry, and
yeah. How do we fix this? Like soon.
Food. So it's all right. We'll eat some food. Let's get you washed and dressed first, and then let's get some food first, and then I don't know how to do this. Let's go get some food.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And you see, he basically is wearing kind of clothes that he fell asleep in, and follows you downstairs.
Yeah.
Luna, Iska. Iska, how you feeling? Luna, how'd you leave her?
I got her onto the bed and just left her however she splayed. Like, she'll have like a blanket on her at least. Yeah. But besides that, just however she splayed.
She does not wake up with that blanket on her. She wakes up halfway leaning off of the bed.
Does she have a glass of water?
Oh no, I know how she wakes up. Because Luna did not drink. She got her sleep, but I'm sure you'd probably still be sleeping at least a little bit past her. So after Luna wakes up, gets dressed and everything, she goes to Iska, makes a big ball of cold water, and dunks it on her.
No, bad manager. No.
I believe what you mean is like pulls it back up pretty quickly.
Good morning.
Good morning. It seemed like you might need help waking up, judging by technically today.
No. Thank you. God, Vidar, I hope it was worth it.
What?
Huh?
You hope. What did Vidar do?
Well, no, I said,
Insight check! You slipped!
Okay, you can roll an insight check. I'll give you advantage.
Thank you. Finally!
Oh yeah, Iska, I don't know, Iska is hiding something.
So I think that since Luna was a little like, all right, whatever, I think she's gonna think back to that. And Iska, you see Luna smile brightly at you, and you have never been more unnerved in your life.
So, speaking of Vidar, where is Vidar before Luna?
Vidar left the sanctuary of the mansion to go as far away as from people into a secluded area in the fields or wherever it is on the midway. Just nice and secluded, probably around some trees, and laid down a magic circle.
Okay.
For 3 hours, focused inwards on Ryan Tally in case someone tries to summon her. And he just tries to spend the 3 hours as the sun's coming up to try to connect with her in any way, shape, or form. Just using Lyle as a way to also just try to calm the inferno that's raging from this sword of the sun.
So, give me 1 second. I'm going to turn off the stream rolls. I would like you to whisper me, either high or low, then whisper me a D100.
Okay, I'm just going to put the magic circle up as well.
I'm scared.
Just so you can read it. Okay, so whisper. How do I want to do a whisper roll?
You can do
DM.
GR or just /GR.
Oh, sorry, GR, right.
GR will send to me. If you're whispering another person, you have to put in their name.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do I do this? I guess I just do it this way as well. Okay. You calm her screaming, at least. Or seem to. But she also seems to go into sort of a sulky type space. But she is quieted. She is not screaming in just absolute abject anger.
Okay, Ryan Talia, tell me what's wrong. Tell me what has you so distraught. Why? I want to understand you a bit more. What's happened?
She doesn't speak to you. You just get this wave of abandonment from her. That she had been abandoned.
Oof. Yeah, that weighs heavy on the Darth. That's I want to fix this between us. I want to understand more. I want to bring you all back together. Let me help. I need to do something. I can't let Ishka get away with it.
You just again this awful desolation and feeling of abandonment and being left behind, of being forgotten, of being trapped and alone and unable to connect with anybody. And you feel that draw out over years, decades, centuries, millennia, eons.
Being so alone. How? Lyle, have you known about this?
We didn't know where she had gotten to. She always had a temper, if you recall, back in the sphere that was shattered. I haven't heard from her, neither of us had, since practically right after we were forged. When everything was happening in the court of the Archfey, the Cosmic Archfey, and Frost Prince, and the Duke, and all of that mess. It's 40,000 years ago.
God. We can't shatter her. We can't just put her to sleep. We have to do something. It's either going to be something real dumb or it's going to be really impressive. I have no idea what. I don't think she'd be safe with anyone in the party.
With your roll, you can feel it as well as I can. What broke her and what she needs.
The Duke might be right then.
It's not to be taken lightly.
No.
And with our history and this form of yours, I can't tell you how it will go.
We've risked a lot to get to where we are. We have to risk a little bit more to find where we're going.
We'll need to prepare.
Just tell me you'll stick around.
Huh.
Like you
could get rid of me that easily.
Fair.
You should talk with everybody about it if it isn't what you intend.
That's a good point. They should all still be asleep. I should be able to get at least. Yeah, I think I'll be able to get in.
Luna found out, she's pissed. Luna found out, she's pissed. Luna found out, she's pissed.
This is 7 a.m. You're not awake till like 11.
Yeah, it probably was a pretty late.
Yeah, it was a late night.
Yeah. And so once the magic circle runs its course, he's going to just, again, left hand grip around Talia and make his way back to the mansion entrance, while also taking in the morning feedback, well, not feedback, but just observing what happens in, basically the following morning after the night melees happen.
Yeah, it's it's kind of that one of those crazy things, almost like for anyone who's been to a big spring break destination, where it's like the night before there's all kinds of drama, but then the next morning it's just like nothing has changed. It's pretty much that. People have gotten back to the conclave. The convergence is happens tonight. So there's too much for the people in charge to do to be worried about it, and it's still a huge day of celebration for all the people who are just attending. And so it's a great story that is filling everybody's morning beers and eggs and bacon as basically everything gets rolling again at the conclave.
I stop and get an egg and bacon roll on my way back.
You were able to...
I can't. I don't have any money.
You don't have any money.
Just go back.
So yeah.
And
roll me a... golly, what would be roll me a persuasion check. On a 19, as you realize you have no money, but are already in line, someone recognizes you from the night melee and buys you breakfast.
I told you I was going to get the sword, didn't I? I told you I was going to be champion. That he just looks way up to get his egg and bacon roll, just vanish.
Yep. Back at the tavern, we'll say the morning passes. Folks who are up early can go get breakfast. Folks who are up late can stumble down whenever they want. Folks who barely slept at all, the smell of bacon and breakfast does waft up and probably drag you out before you would necessarily want to, but the day has begun.
19 on the exhaustion.
Woohoo!
Not exhausted.
So, anything special folks want to do as their day begins before leaving the mansion?
Yes. There is.
You find Vidar sitting peacefully in the courtyard.
Oh no, you're not the concern. Iska has to pay for her actions.
Oh no.
Penance.
Make sure you get some breakfast in you, and then you're getting quite good with that gun of yours. And to help with that, I'm going to help you with your reflexes. You need to dodge what I throw at you. And you are going to be pelted with ice water balloons, basically.
But I don't...
Do me a dexterity save just so we can see how this goes. Come on, Iska, I believe in you.
Oh.
Describe how you do, Iska.
I'd probably miss. I think maybe 70% of them. But the ones that don't miss hit hard.
Exactly. It doesn't hurt, but it teaches the lesson. That's all.
So you do, as the morning passes, gets to be around noon. You do have Ambrose come sort of and find y'all. He seems to have found his way, and whether it was Nate going out into the midway or whoever following back Vidar, Ambrose does seem to find his way to you. He does have the bracers in hand, and sort of walks in and gathers everyone. Well, I think I've got it. Does everyone want to gather around? Or I can give this, it's a Dolo's message, but it kind of seems like it might be for everybody.
I assume we gather. And...
Isn't that the way of things?
Yeah,
This is reasonably secure from like divination and those sorts of things in here.
Basically, Rion's like, it's another plane of existence, and I've also warded it with non-detection. It's about as good as you get.
All right. Yep, that sounds good. As we still need to be concerned about all that, especially at this point now that everyone, people know we're here and who we are for the most part, I think. So they're gonna keep keeping an eye on us. So talk about this sort of thing, keep it in this sort of place or in the mental talk for the rest of you. Those of us who are, it's all good. I'm just a little concerned.
Yep. I probably rightly so. So as I said, I think I have it figured out. And he sort of looks straight. Can I get like a table or something? And a table sort of appears in the middle of this sort of U-shaped courtyard with the stables on either side, Balshirian off, and one of the stalls. The rest of the party gathered round. So as I said, the language it's more referencing. It talks about people and events through history, and I kind of had to guess some of this, but I sort of used some of the prose pieces. He kind of looks at Iska. I don't know if it really comes together the way it's supposed to, but I think I got it. I've just finished, so let me tell you what I found out. As a note to the players, there is a handout, so don't feel as though you need to take notes. And Ambrose begins to speak, and it's almost incantation-like in its verbiage. It's not in your notebooks yet. You don't have the handout yet. I see your look on your face. You will get one at the end because it's just going to work better this way. And as he does, even his eyes get a little wide, like he's not expecting this. The bracers begin to crackle and to spark, and they start to lift up off the table, and they start to create this field of electricity around them. You then see as the engravings begin to rotate on the surface of the bracers, almost like a clockwork inside this field of electricity that is sparking around them, this sphere, and it begins to spin. It's almost like one of those old-fashioned, I just lost the word for it, where you spin it and it looks like animated.
Zoetrope.
A zoetrope. It's almost like a zoetrope as it begins to spin, except this is made out of living lightning. You see the first image come into focus, crackling and sparking. It's an ancient image. A huge bronze dragon, wings outstretched over a desert city. Hidden beneath, you see a clutch of eggs. Bronze dragon reaches down into the shadows below the city, and it removes one of the eggs and hands it to a horned figure, the Duke. You see the Duke take that dragon's egg and begin to mold it, taking the essence to form a tribe of humanoids, modeled after one of his preferred forms. They are feline in nature, the Bronze Mirage. The group of Tabaxi are given a sacred book of knowledge, and they flee the city from this horrific war of darkness. The book is lost, then found once more. A Tabaxi of that same heritage finds the book and learns its secrets. Runes of ancient power flow from the book to the Tabaxi, and then from within its pages a dark serpent emerges, its body elongating, making a black sealed door. This new Tabaxi, Axel, reaches out, turns the handle. The scene shifts. A beautiful city of fountains, but at its heart is a festering pool of blood and darkness. A dark figure, opens a portal and walks through, followed by a group of the Void-forged monstrosities. From out of that same portal flows a wave of chaos and madness, and the city crumbles to ruins. Back at the doorway, it is enlarged to dominate the entire landscape. Beyond it, you see a vast skeletal dragon pull its reanimated corpse from beneath a swamp of ghostly trees. Standing in its path, a lone humanoid figure marked with runes. Riley. He reaches out his hand and touches the dragon's skull, and the dragon is restored to living flesh and blood. The now living dragon's scales are covered in its namesake glyphs as they glow in the moonlight. Two fangs erupt from the earth to take their place in Gwilyn Fura's massive maw. The crescent movement above falls from the sky, becoming a silver bow as it tumbles to the earth. The darkness shattered by a blazing sword burning the night away, revealing a landscape full of allies mobilizing for war. Riley leaps into the air to land astride Gwilyn Fura's back. To the east, a huge tree now fills the horizon over the midnight weald, and to the north, the sky is darkened by a stream of netherwings flowing towards the city of fountains, Balathira, where all destinies lie. Gwilyn Fura and all the allies take wing to give chase to meet this swarm of netherwings and the Archmistress and whatever else lies in wait as they try to save this sphere. But one person is missing. Back behind them, one figure has stayed behind because someone must still close that door that has been opened. The vision comes to a close. The bracers are now blank, and hovering above them is a small arc-light phoenix that flaps its wings with electricity, goes over, lands on Odolo's shoulder. Y'all will find the handout called the Arc-light Prophecy in the folder section. For the folks in the audience, the prophecy itself goes as so. The axle is key and shall hide no more. The runes of ancients to open death's door. The fountains will fall to the thieves of the sky, unless the bastion raised and the rune balanced rides. Earthen fangs to ground the foe, the crescent moon a silver bow. The sun to burn the night away, chaos returns and a choice is made. In sky and citadel the war is fought, after seed is planted and destinies wrought. You see Ambrose look to the group. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. When I was translating, it didn't do anything like that. So, yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah, that sounds about as usual. More news, more information. Oh boy.
I mean,
Oh.
after the battle, I did have a conversation with the Duke. For the magic of the world to be balanced right, the weave of chaos has to return.
And how would we do that? Exactly. I mean, we've got the immediate concern as well, and then we've got this now.
Yeah.
And still got to get to the Vice after all that. If we don't.
Hey Riley, how confident are you with a bow?
Well,
I turn to look at Vidar. We have been training him with a bow this entire time.
Pretty good. I mean, remember I was going to shoot you?
Yeah, and you didn't. You should have done that.
No, it was a good idea not to shoot you. But yeah, we've been training with the bow. You can.
Yeah. Earth and things, crescent moon, and the sun to burn. I think I know what I need to do. This isn't going to be a choice I prefer. I think it's one that I have to do to calm Ryan Talia so we can maybe help the world.
Go on.
The Duke told me after the battle that the only way to restore her is to basically satisfy her abandonment. That's how it feels. And I think that I might need to give up Lysithea for a while so I can try that. And it might have an effect and a change on me. It might be for the best, it might be for the worst, but if it is for the worst, then I want you all to stop me as soon as it goes wrong. But I don't know how.
Does this need to be done now? This is really kind of the question.
I don't know. I have no idea. There's a lot of questions here in the world now. Question is, how the heck are we going to get everywhere?
Well, once their advisor is restored, transportation will probably be a bit easier in general, even if you can't. But yeah, and we've got that old scroll from way back when, for if we really need to get somewhere quick, as long as they don't mess it up, sort of thing.
We have a lot of support now too. We have Ryan's and Nate's support. Adolo's, the Duke and Nim are backing us 100% too. We have allies, at least.
Backing us and what's going on exactly? There's a lot of prophecies, and you've got a lot of ideas that I don't. We've got this great war on the horizon now, when we were just dealing with stopping the Arcana Mystica and then getting to the Vice, and now there's a war, and what do we do? You sort of looking to everyone. We need to do a point somewhere, direction.
They have the High Enchantress's body, by the way.
They've probably also got the Diviner back. I think he escaped.
But strangely not the necklace, apparently.
The necklace?
Did you...
The thing around her neck. Celia noticed it before. That was no longer there.
Roll me an intelligence check, Axel, as you were the person who had the best look at her when she appeared, and yeah.
Intelligence, Arcana.
You can do a intelligence save or an Arcana check. I believe it's the same bonus.
Arcana's a lot better because I get a double on that.
Okay, then Arcana is fine.
Yeah, it's 28.
On a 28, the mention of the necklace, that it's missing in the heat of battle. There was something that just clicked in your brain for a moment. And it sort of chills you. Because in your study of schools of magic, you know some of the most powerful spells, the power words that are used by the very highest level, are actually enchantment in nature. And when Luna mentions the necklace, you think back of another necklace, Eva's necklace, that also contained very powerful spells that she used to free Kel of his curse. Whoever has that necklace has a neck full of probably 8th or 9th level power word type spells.
So yeah, that necklace is probably enchanted in spell storage, like the spell storing ring, but a lot more powerful, including very powerful spells, which is all good news. So
at least
either they secured it. Either someone we don't know about either took it, or they secured that before they even secured a body because it's more valuable, which is probably also the case.
It didn't seem like they had it. They seemed to also, because they seemed also concerned when I mentioned it. I think someone else might. Or perhaps there are factions within the Arcana Mystica now. I don't know. The group I encountered seemed to not have it.
There's always been several groups. Also wipe memories. Which is an enchantment thing to do, I think. But, yeah. Well, we do... I mean, that in the hands of anyone's kind of dangerous as well.
I look to the large bird that has just landed on my shoulder.
Yes. Not super large, but good sized.
I mean, it's like the size of a parrot on a Dolo's body.
Yeah.
But like to anyone else, it would probably be pretty large.
Yes, that is true.
And I just sort of like reach up and like scritch it under its beak, sort of, and just go, well, do you have anything else to illuminate here?
You see...
I don't know if it matters, but I cast Speak with Animals.
Oh, okay.
You can do that at will.
So you hear sort of this sparking come from the bird. Sort of like almost like an electrical sounding crackle of a voice. Just one more thing. And looks over at Axel. Axel, you feel a burning in your blood. Your body begins to heat up as you feel something sort of seem to be rising within you.
He's a bit sort of taken aback, glancing over at the bird for a bit. What's that?
Out here in this courtyard, Axel, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Yeah. Constitution saving throw.
Yep. On a 5, you are racked with pain. And you double over, falling to your knees. Riley immediately runs over to you, trying to comfort you as this just searing pain racks through your body, and you feel as though 2 daggers have been thrust into your back as your wings of the ancient spring forth, and these 2 draconic wings sprout from your back. The party has not seen this before, I do not believe. Your fur turns almost scale-like. And everything that you sort of imagined it would be comes to pass. And then continues. And you all watch as Axel's neck elongates. His body becomes larger. The wings spread wider. Until you are in the presence of an adult bronze dragon. Dad? You're looking down.
Where, are we inside? Did he just
You're
go
in the
up
courtyard of this magic mansion, and you are now standing as Axel's heritage, as one of Shimandala's brood, transformed by the Duke of Sunsets into the Bronze Mirage of the Tabaxi tribe, as his blood of the ancients has expressed itself. You will find a handout. Don't panic. As your last aspect of the ancients expresses itself.
He is pretty much stunned. You just see this shocked dragon face.
I think we're all a little taken by surprise. This is interesting.
He's like, he takes a moment, then he leans down because he's big. He leans down and puts his head down. This is strange.
I want to say I'm surprised. I really do. I want to say this is the most shocking thing that's ever happened to my life.
It hurt.
But it's not.
I feel like you of all people should understand this better than us.
This is this is expected at this point.
Well, I was kind of thinking the same thing. It's just kind of like, on the one hand, sudden, but also it's like, there's been so much weird stuff. I'm just going to roll with it at this point.
So, what we got? Luna, you're going to become an octopus now? What's an octopus? I don't know. I read it in a book.
Can you all not change your forms at will?
No.
I know. Ish.
Actually?
I just choose not to, that's all.
I
could, I just don't want to right now.
Party can.
Turn around in circles and look at himself.
This is
And actually, hold on.
Like a cat chasing his tail.
How many people do I accidentally hit as I turn around in circles with a brand new body that I have no idea how to handle?
We'll have everyone throw some dexterity saves across the board as... We'll say basically you have to beat the 13. Oh.
Okay, there we go. Oh, Iska.
Oh, Iska gets caught.
Axel, this is a...
Amazing. What is it? Dexy.
I grab one of the spines and jump up on him.
I suplex the dragon.
Sorry, it's a reflex.
I see dragon.
I mean, it did involve a dex save, so...
Yeah.
I think I have disadvantage since exhaustion, or is that...
Not on saves, it's on checks.
Checks, yeah.
As I'm holding onto the spine and I tap onto the scales, I think we now have a way to get places incredibly quickly. Depending on how long
that sounds like
maintain this for.
That sounds like it could go
I would rather not. I haven't flown once before.
Spread your wings, friend.
So,
is there space
never
for
wings.
this? I'm fine near the wings.
We're in a pocket dimension.
I'm a dragon. Oh my god, I just
you
set up
are.
a dragon.
Oh wait, so dragons are fine? It's just non-dragon things
Yeah,
that aren't
no.
fine? Oh,
Yeah, and
okay.
Dragons, all the way back from way with the green dragonflight, the dragonflight bandits used dragonlings to carry their messages because dragonlings can fly. Dragons are held by the draconic truce that keeps the southern dragons from coming in, basically taking out the netherwings.
We may need to borrow this magical mansion, or at least yourself.
It only gets so big. Roll me another Constitution saving throw, Axel.
Yeah, this is.
Can you change back into your cat-like form?
I.
Almost at the time that he says that, you feel yourself reverting, this time painlessly, by that end. From now on,
Yeah.
the handout. Yeah. But as many of the first times, it's a freebie.
Yeah.
And you find yourself back as Axel. Painlessly, at least this time.
I'm all right, Riley. By the way, I'm fine. That was.
That was so cool! And he just comes over and picks you up and hugs you.
I am a dragon.
So that's what that whole thing, the Axel revealed, is that you're a dragon?
Yes. Maybe. I think. Possibly. I'm a dragon.
My dad's a dragon. Riley kind of announces to everyone who's just saw it also.
Well, my dad works in Nintendo.
I have a dad.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it hurts. It's not a pleasant transformation. Just gonna say it, although I've not done that. Oh well, I've done a transformation before. Nothing that big. It was painful, and stressful, and powerful. As in, like, imagine you know what it's like to turn into
Something.
A dinosaur.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dinosaur.
no, I'm talking about the angel.
Oh,
yeah.
true.
That being of great power. Like, I think it's like who I am or what I am. There's a part of me that doesn't want to change back.
Yeah.
Kind
I know
of scary.
that feeling.
Very
I
scary.
know that feeling. It's dangerous.
Oh wow, that was I'm a dragon. Yay.
Yeah.
And as you go ahead.
Thank you, Phoenix, for
What's-
that revelation and all that.
So what's to become of the braces now?
Ambrose sort of picks him and goes, they're just, I think, kind of bracers now. I mean, they're yours. He sort of hands them out to Adolo. If you want them, I don't know. Is that weird?
I haven't thought too much about what to do with them. Perhaps you hold on to them for now. There may come a time that I come back and ask you to forge something.
Okay.
If you don't mind, I might hold on to them for a bit. I have
Okay.
some heavy thoughts
If
and
you wish.
an incredible pack to consider for life choices. Oh, this isn't going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. But hey, I takes the braces and clamps them on. This is what The prophecy says it's what the prophecy gets.
So, as we see the party here within this courtyard of a magical mansion, discussing what in the world is to come next, we will close off our session of the Vice this week. And we will start with not so speedruns, because this is his last episode with us.
Really quickly before we end things.
Okay, absolutely. We have time.
Just because I won't be back next week. I just want to get a chance to say sort of goodbyes.
Absolutely. Let's go through and do that.
Okay. Vidar, I'm sure you'll wear those bracers well. They represent a bond, and while it was not one that I chose willingly, they are significant. And I'm sure that you can feel the weight of that burden as you wear them as well.
True words have never been spoken so loud. And gives him a hug. Massive form, just huge, doesn't know how to hug big people.
Give him like a strong pat on the back. I wish you the best of luck on all that you do, but I think that I have another fate in store. My chosen destiny at birth was to be a champion of Draco. And though it was not one that I donned by choice, I think there is some truth to that. I intend to return home for the first time without my binds. And I intend to be a champion for those who still wear them. To the rest of you, to Iska and Luck, to Vidar, Celia, if you're still here. To Luna,
who knows?
Ambrose, and of course, the axle upon which the world turns. Each of you, it seems, have a fate in store for you. More than I could imagine. But remember that like the fate that I was born with, you still have a choice. Your destiny is yours to make. Thank you all. And I give everyone a hug, and
Luna will high five you instead.
high five Luna sort of awkwardly. I reach into like my side pocket and pull out a small bag of my Dracovarian drugs and toss it to Vidar. Something to remember me by. If the bracers weren't enough.
Look, to be honest, after this last 24 hours, I'm going to need at least another 6 bags. If this doesn't go according to plan. Just a nice holiday sounds good.
I'm sure it will treat you well. And with that, I bid you adieu.
Any final words from the party for Adolo as he goes off on his separate way?
Choose wisely.
And you watch as Adolo heads out of the courtyard through the magic portal and off to his destiny as the new dean of Vice U.
Plot twist.
It's by search.
Oh God.
Nice.
Hope you all enjoyed our session today. I know I had a blast, and it's always so much fun to get together with this group of people and tell a story for all of these folks. We have got more story, but things are starting to wrap up as things get laid out for the party. We can go around real quick to let folks, so you can let folks know where they can find you out on the interwebs. We will start with Good Guy Pie.
I am Good Guy Pie. You can find me on Good Guy Pie on the Twitch, where I play a variety of games, mainly story-based, and also Skullgirls. You can find me at Too Good Too Guy on the Twitter, as it is why I tweet about things and retweet things and stuff. And I think you know how Twitter works. And yeah, that's about all. Nani.
Very good. Next up, Alicia, NNG9.
Hey, I'm NNG9. You can find me on Twitch. It's NNG9, which I'll get to stream it again at some point when things are more organized. You can also follow me on Twitter, NNG98. Feel free to tweet me your chants that are Vice-based. I will make a collection of them. Dead serious. Message me or tweet at me. I will do it. And we will have our roster. Also puns. And I might do more Periscope stuff, because that's easier.
Sweet. Next up, Not So Speedruns. Thank you so much for joining us for these last weeks. It has been a blast getting to know Adolo, and I look forward to hopefully DMing you sometime in the future for other things, or for, who knows, maybe the Siege of Dracovar.
Yeah.
Or, you know,
that too.
Homecoming at Vice U.
Whatever it may be. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been a really fun game to join in on. And today's session was really great to get to have all the sort of personal moments. And, you know, get to talk seriously with all these people. It was very good. And I adore you all. So thank you for having me, and I'm sure we'll get to play at some point again soon. Until then, my name is Speedy. You can find me everywhere on the internet as Not So Speedruns, and on Twitch, where I sometimes stream games, I guess. Right now, I'm raising money to write Love on Her Arms as part of their Valentine's Day Doesn't Have to Suck campaign. Doing that with the team Cast Together, and there's some really great people on the team. If you're interested in learning more about that and helping out and otherwise supporting the cause, check out @Cast Together on Twitter as well. And follow Cast Together on Twitch, as next Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. there will be a 12-hour stream on the Cast Together channel, all raising money to write Love on Her Arms for a super great cause. So definitely go check it out.
Thank you so much, and we definitely, you'll be seeing my channel hosting all of that stuff, and hope to see lots of other people head over that way as well. As a wonderful, wonderful organization. Next up, Bird vs. Plane.
Hey folks, I'm Bird vs. Plane. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at that very same name. I'm going to be streaming a lot more, as I just left my place of work after 6 long years, so I gotta find a way to earn some money to buy dog food. I mean, that's kind of the only priority right now. So there's a lot of games I want to play and tackle, which I just posted on my Twitter. Come hang out, come do stuff. Hopefully I can do something last minute here to be part of the Cast Together stream as well, or just at least raise money for Right Love Arms. So yeah, drop in. Speedy, seriously, thank you so much for joining us. And also, screw you for being the one to drop the dragons are cats. Actually, like it's canon in this universe.
It's canon in this universe that
cats are dragons. Where do you think it came from?
God damn it.
Here's wrong ploy.
Cats are dragons. Tabaxi
One
art.
long pun. One long pun. 3 years.
I approve this pun.
No. This is longer than that. This is all the way back when I got to experience the first time JDM'd. Of course, it's been since then. Possibly, I don't know.
It's been there for a long, long time that tabaxis were definitely dragons in my world.
All tabaxis?
Oh yeah,
Every single tabaxi.
What are you dragons are cats.
dragons are cats are dragons. Templar Warden. Speaking of,
hello, I am Templar Warden. I was playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi Dragon Wizard. Yeah, that's something. You may find me anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden. You may find me on Twitter at Reina Templar. You can find me and everyone else in the Vice Discord, where we'll be, of course, where we announce the stream, where we chat, and of course, where people are welcome to share their own streams, especially if you're going to be doing things like your cast together. Please share them there, and if anyone's on the Discord, hop on there and keep track of that, and we can all be agreeing together. But awesome session, and also thank you, Speedy, for being here. That was great.
and last but not least, speaking of cats, dragons, and folks from Australia, dragons are cats. There's a sandstorm.
Hello, I have a little sandstorm baby who's very scared of the storm this morning, but she's doing better now. I'm Dragons of Cats. You can find me playing Vidar Lycran here and getting a tail in my mouth, and now it's nothing but fur. Great session, wonderful session. Sandstorm, settle down. Yeah, you can catch me on the webs as Dragons of Cats on the Twitch and the Twitters. You can catch me playing a D&D game on Wednesday nights at Australian time of 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it's like darkness in the morning for y'all. Yeah.
I am Tall Squall. I am so glad all of you all joined us. Thank you for the donations and the bits and all of that hype training there at the beginning and all that type of stuff. Thank you for supporting Games to Grow. And until next time, gather your friends together and tell a story, because that's what it's all about. And always remember that kindness is a free action. We're going to go raid Madame Gandalf and throw some love over there in her stream. And we will see y'all next week here on The Vice. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.